Hey, Ralph, are you okay?
Yeah, good morning.
How's that? All right, Jordan, we'll start with you.
Hi, Ralph. How are you?
I'm good, Jordan. Thank you.
Just wondering what your thoughts on the McCabe-Ristolainen pair have been so far this season.
I would say that McCabe has been outstanding and added to his game in the off season. So you can always and how the break has gone and what he's done in that time, and whatever McCabe has done, he is playing at the top of his game. He's solid defensively, but adding a nice touch offensively, and gives us really another tool, and we're pleased with him. And Risto has been excellent also in leading our physicality. If a player on another team does anything, he will feel it in the next game, whether it was post Washington early hit and Philly. He's definitely a physical leader for us. He sets the tone, and as strong as he plays defensively, he also adds to our offensive. So really been an outstanding pair for us, and very reliable in both directions, and just a pleasure to see them start the season this way.
Hi there, Ralph. The eye test says you guys are close, and a lot of the underlying numbers say you guys are close. How is the message being sent to these guys to stay with their game and not get frustrated by the lack of results so far?
Well, Mike, you first of all, you guys know me as a coach. No matter winning or losing, it's about improvement and our continued development of the culture on and off the ice. That is something we will religiously stick to all the time. But I find that you need to understand the importance of getting points now, and we're in a position where a correction can come very quickly. With some positive momentum, but there is a sense of urgency in the air, and what you try to do is make sure that constant improvement remains the focus, while at the same time understanding what the difference makers are to get the wins. What we need to add in those moments of decisiveness, which have to happen around scoring chances, which has to happen around power play. We love the defensive structure of the team. We've given up very few chances relative to what we did last year. And we believe we're playing two of the better teams in the league here with Philadelphia and Washington. And so that has been confirmed. But as we all know, in the end, we're measured by our results and the points. So we need to bring an edge. We need to bring a grit and a fight, because right now we're not getting the results that we possibly would be capable of getting because of the way we're playing. And when that happens, the only thing I know, Mike, is that we have to push the guys that much harder to do some of the ugly things, work more diligently at doing things where sacrifice is called for, whether it's the creation of net pressure, whether it's being more physical defensively. We all need to dig deep to do that, to get our momentum going in the direction with results. So it is a good question. We are pleased with many things. The results not being one of them, and it's those that we need to focus on here the next couple of games to get ourselves back where we need to be.
Ralph, when a kid like Rasmus Dahlin struggles a bit, how do you kind of handle it? Do you sit down? You guys sit down and talk with him? Do you give him his space? I mean, obviously he's frustrated and he knows he could be better, but how do you approach something like that when he's benched for a little bit?
Just really open and honest communication. I mean, Steve Smith remains his primary tactical teacher. We've got Matt Ellis with us all the time now that also is working on skills with him. But, it's my responsibility to come at the players straight and honest. And we had that talk this morning, making it really clear what the expectations are, why we made the decisions we made yesterday, and that they're only in one interest, and that's to turn him into the best possible National Hockey League player, and him understanding that sometimes a little bit of a setback and some pain helps him to better understand what needs to be done. And with Dahls, we have a young defenseman who has world-class offensive upside, and everybody knows that to be a high-minute guy in the National Hockey League, you need to also take care of the defensive side, and that is what every young offensive defenseman needs to work on. So there's nothing out of the ordinary going on here. But above all, I have to tell you, Bill, just honest and open discussions, cards on the table, and that's how we operate here. And it was truly quite a few face-to-face moments here already this morning before the skate.
Ralph, just another daily quick update on Kyle. Would you think he might be ready to go tomorrow? And then on Dahlin, simply, how much benefit is there to take a game and sit and watch, and how much is it to, in the wake of a benching? How does that go in your mind to make that decision?
I think, we definitely, there was a little bit of video, but for me, it's much more psychological and mental, processing when you're on the road, especially, and you end up with the top players of the other team, and Washington had a more of a gritty lineup yesterday. He's going to end up in those matchups, which at home possibly he doesn't see as often. So the learners are much bigger here, and there's opportunity in that. And I think it's what happens in your mind more than we don't try to paralyze the players with structure. We just need certain principles to be executed defensively for us to eliminate the chances, and for him to get used to doing that against the top players. For me, it's truly seeing that in his mind and not overloading him with video. Quite honestly, he needs to see some video, but it's for me, the teaching process is much more catching him doing things right, which he does a lot, and just making those his habits versus slipping into some older habits that he might have taken out of the past few years. But we enjoy the process with him. He's a good student, and he will improve from this experience, Mike.
We're all set, Ralph. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Lynn.